I've been having a hard time with my screen recording today, so I'm gonna try to get through this. This will be like my fifth time trying to do this, but there's a couple of articles that I need to go over. I would like to go over responses from Middle East nations, Arab nations, regarding President Trump's Gaza plan. I'm starting with this one here. Is Arab nations reject Trump's idea to relocate Gaza population. Basically what they said was, following a meeting of top diplomats in Cairo on Saturday, Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, the Palestinian Authority, and the Arab League issued a joint statement saying they firmly rejected the displacement of Palestinians through direct expulsion or coerced migration. These actions would threaten the region's stability, risk expanding the conflict, and undermine prospects for peace and coexistence among its peoples. And the reason why they feel that way is because the Greater Israel Plan is to take over all of Jordan, all of Lebanon, parts of Egypt, the Sinai, parts of Syria, if not all, parts of Saudi Arabia, and maybe all of Iraq. And of course, they don't want to, escalate that or try to make it easier for that to happen by removing the Palestinians from their rightful land. Anyway, the Arab nations said they are looking forward to working with Trump to achieve a just and comprehensive peace in the Middle East based on the two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians. They also called on the international community to assist with a comprehensive reconstruction plan for Gaza to make sure that the Palestinians remain there. And then the Egyptian President El-Sisi had stressed that the relocation of Palestinians cannot ever be tolerated or allowed, and I explained why that was, and so did they. And the Jordan foreign minister said the same thing. It's his country's firm and unwavering opposition to the move. Other thing I want to bring up is what Iran is saying. Iran will respond in kind to U.S. threats. Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has warned that Tehran will respond with tit-for-tat measures to any hostile moves by the U.S. He also rejected the idea of talks with Washington, saying it would be neither wise, intelligent, nor honorable. U.S. President Donald Trump has reinstated his so-called maximum pressure policy against Iran since returning to office, accusing Tehran of seeking to develop a nuclear bomb. Washington announced more sanctions against Iran's oil industry on Tuesday, targeting an international network that facilitates deliveries of Iranian oil to China. Well, during the meeting, a meeting with the Iranian Air Force personnel in Tehran on Friday, Khamenei insisted that the Americans sit and redraw the world map on paper, but it is only on paper with no basis in reality. They make statements about us, express opinions, and issue threats. If they threaten us, we will threaten them. If they act on those threats, we will do the same. If they undermine our nation's security, we will undoubtedly respond in kind. Trump stated on Wednesday that he wants to engage in talks with Tehran to reach a verified nuclear peace agreement which will let Iran peacefully grow and prosper. He also insisted that reports of the U.S. working in conjunction with Israel to blow Iran into smithereens are greatly exaggerated. Well, the problem is slapping sanctions on Iran is only going to hurt the Iranian people. It's not. I know he thinks that's his diplomatic way of doing things to try to prevent Iran from making a nuclear bomb. But as a sovereign country and all the threats that Iran has gotten, I can see them using that as a deterrence, so that they at least can protect themselves from, invasion and maybe even bombs and us using nukes on them. So if I were in the shoes of people that have been bullied by my country, I would be thinking of ways like that, deterrence against the U.S. And you can see this view that the U.S. is just the boss of everybody. I mean, when you have these keywords like verified nuclear peace agreement, which will let Iran peacefully grow and prosper. They should be able to do that on their own. They're a sovereign nation. However, the Iranian supreme leader cautioned against negotiating with the U.S. government, insisting it would be neither wise, intelligent, nor honorable. Tehran was very generous and made concessions during the negotiations with world powers on the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, which involved Iran giving up its military nuclear program in exchange for the lifting of international sanctions, he said. The same person who is in power now tore up the treaty, Khamenei noted, referring to Trump unilaterally withdrawing the U.S. from the landmark agreement during his first term in 2018, which again, at that time, he didn't know what he was doing. He went into office, and he didn't have a clue how it all worked. And he was surrounded, he had to appoint thousands of people to his cabinet. He didn't know most of the people, the politicians in Washington. You know the story. He had to try to do his job and survive. The intel agency was against him. The Pentagon was against him. The MIC, military industrial complex. They didn't give him, they kept intel information from him, said certain things so he would do it and go along with it, like the Soleimani murder. So there's that, but I could see why they feel that way. The same person who is in power now tore up the treaty, as I said. Then he says at the end, negotiations with the U.S. have no impact on solving the country's problems. We must understand this correctly and not be misled into thinking that sitting at the negotiation table with that government will resolve certain issues. No, negotiations with the U.S. will not solve any problems. This is how a lot of countries feel now. We've broken treaties, we've broken promises over the past several decades. Can you blame other countries for feeling this way? I don't think so. I hope this came through. I want to do an interview. I want to share an interview that I watched earlier today, and I will be back later, God willing. Please follow my channel, like my videos if you like them, share my channel, share my videos. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time.